How to enhance communication with DISC in the workplace. How to adapt your management style to be more effective with different type of people by understanding their inherent behaviors, communication preference, motivators, strengths and weaknesses. One of the key is to know what is DISC and start using it in workplace and in your life. DISC is an acronym that stands for Dominance, Influence, Steadiness and Compliance. The science of DISC explains how a person does what they do and can be a strong predictor of future behavior. And from these 4 behavior quadrants, there are not good behaviors or bad behaviors. There are also not bad DISC quadrants and good DISC quadrants. Each DISC quadrant has tendency that can be strengths as well as weaknesses. When someone scores higher in one particular area of DISC compared to the others, they are considered high in that particular factor. For example, high Ds means dominance, are all about result. High Is, influence, are about interactions. And high S is steadiness, they seek for stabilities. And high C stands for compliance, are all about following the rules. Now, let's dive deeper. DISC profile D means dominant. People who are high in D are extroverted and outgoing and task-oriented. They tend to be direct, decisive, driven and demanding. They typically have high confidence, are self-motivated, and are comfortable taking risks. They like to focus on the big picture, not details. People who have high Ds are frequently found in leadership positions. What is the shadow side of high Ds? When the dominant trait is overdeveloped, or when people high in Ds become stressed, they can become impatient, blunt to the point of being insensitive, may force decision or take action without first forming a consensus, and use their authority instead of persuasion to get what they want. And for DISC profile I, influencing people who are high in I are extroverted and outgoing and people-oriented. They tend to be inspiring, impressionable, interactive, impressive and involved. They are typically vocal and animated. They like to engage others in conversation. Leaders who have high I energize others and are usually popular because of their social skill and charm. What is the shadow side of high I? When the influencing trait is overdeveloped, or when people high in I are stressed, they can become disorganized by focusing too much on people that they overlook details and tasks. They tend to feel social rejection because they have a strong desire to be liked by others and will respond to pressure with verbal attacks. Now, let's look at DISC profile S, steadiness. People who are high in S are more introverted and reserved, and people-oriented. They tend to be supportive, stable, sweet and shy. They are typically calm, easygoing and collected people. They like giving support, collaborating and maintaining stabilities. When people who have high S are in leadership position, they work hard to ensure harmony and balance. Well, what is the shadow side of high S? When the steadiness trait is overdeveloped, or when people high in S become stressed, they often avoid conflict to preserve relationship. They are frequently the last one to speak up or attract attention, so they are easy to overlook. They may be limited by being indecisive and overly accommodating. They can fear change, loss of stabilities, and offending others. And last, DISC profile C, compliance. Now, people who are high in C are more introverted and reserved and task-oriented. They tend to be cautious, calculating, competent, contemplative, and careful. They are typically analytical, detail-oriented, and intentional. They value precision and have inquisitive nature, often appearing critical by asking many questions. And leaders who have high C expect everyone to follow their standards and make sure that everything is working the way it should. And what is the shadow side of high C? When the compliance trait is overdeveloped, or when people high in C become stressed, they can become evasive, avoiding conflict by changing the subject. They do not like fast-paced pressure and are likely to respond to it with an even slower pace due to uncertainty and confusion. They can be limited by over-analyzing, isolating themselves, and fearing criticism. Well, this basic understanding helps to illustrate how to identify various behavior styles when entering a room with other people. And DISC is like instruction manual for people. People are different and different people respond differently to the same stimuli. It's not that there is a wrong or a right way, but rather that it is important to understand the differences between people. And DISC is a powerful tool that you can use to improve 6 areas in your life. Number 1, manage people better by understanding their strengths, weaknesses, and how to communicate with them and motivate them. Number 2, manage yourself better. Account self-leadership by knowing what makes you different to other people and what blind spot you have that are holding yourself back. Number 3, recruit better by finding people who are naturally suited to the job and avoiding people with the wrong temperament for certain roles. And number 4, job search better by knowing what roles you are suited for, identifying and communicating your strengths and weaknesses. Number 5, manage your boss better by understanding your boss better. Now, number 6, have better personal relationship by understanding the people around you and how to communicate with them so they understand you. Well, my personal experience is that having a tool like DISC has helped me to be able to recruit more accurately for salespersons that are producing results for our organization. And apart from more success in building rapport with employees and customers. So, DISC is a behavior model to help you to understand different types of people so that you, number 1, understand the natural tendency of different types of people. Number 2, know how you can be better understood. Number 3, understand what motivates different people so that you can encourage them to do what you want. And number 4, increase employee engagement. Well, DISC can also give you insight into your natural tendency. This explains how you are different to most other people and how you are similar to some type of people. And DISC analyze what your strengths are and what natural tendency might be holding you back. Well, if you are a business owner or managers, look, you can choose your friends, but in business, you have to be effective with all types of people, even if you do not naturally match their type. Here are the 4 reasons why is DISC important in business. Number 1, DISC behavior differences can manifest into flawed communication, dysfunctional relationship, and conflict. Number 2, a business that uses the strength of different behavior types will be much more successful than a monoculture. Managers make the mistake of hiring people like themselves. Don't hire people like you. Hire the right people for the job. And number 3, the DISC behavior model can inform you about your natural leadership style and how to adjust your leadership style to get better management results. Number 4, each behavior type has some tendency which can be detrimental to business if they are not managed. So, are you a manager looking to find out your management strength, reveal blind spot, and get customized management strategy to be a better boss? Come join our training and coaching program that help you to become a better boss. Let's see, how does DISC support managers? By understanding DISC is so important in managing people that it is one of the foundational skills. Some of the foundational manager skills include performance communication, dedicating, and developing employee, because these managers need to master this skill to become good managers. And manager foundation uses action-oriented steps that any manager can use with any member of staff. But it is more effective to adjust your interaction to the individual. And the DISC model provides a simple but effective behavior models. And using behavior model with the manager's foundation management technique is an incredibly powerful combination. While managing employee is a complex job, people are different, and what works for one employee doesn't work for everyone else. And are you a manager looking to find out how to motivate your employee, discover their strengths, and be warned about their risky negative tendency? Find out how to discover your employee DISC profile in 15 minutes with us. And here is one important tip. Regular, high-quality one-on-one meetings with your employee are the ideal forum for you to get to know your staff and to build great functioning relationship between bosses and employees. Plus, do one-on-one right, and not only can you take care of almost all your management responsibility in one go, but they will also deliver you to managers of ultimate level. And because functional relationships are so important to work happiness and productivities, I made a mini course on one-on-one which will show you 5 easy steps to one-on-one. Well, what I expect you will find is that you already know some of the content of some type of level, but maybe you are not putting it into practice. And this will help. This is essential for new managers and helpful for experienced managers as well. Now, let's explore how to apply DISC in recruitment. We all know that different type of people are more suited to different type of job. But interviewing alone doesn't give you a deep insight into the strength, weaknesses, or behavior tendency of job candidates. Now, candidates are on their best behavior, and it is too late to discover problem after hiring them. Psychometric tests are not a replacement for an interview process, but rather skilled recruiters use them to reveal potential problem areas. Well, because hiring the wrong person is one of the biggest mistakes that you can make as a manager. Recruiters can use DISC assessment to pick the right person for the job. Interviewing provides qualitative information, and a DISC assessment is a great qualitative complement. Well, are you recruiting and don't want to end up with a huge financial time and emotional cost of a bad hire? Come to learn another expert perspective by joining our training.